Welcome to Revenge Justice, where every wrong finds its payback. When I was a tiny kid, my father was my hero, my best friend. He worked multiple jobs, all while powering his way through law school. And somehow, he still managed to spend time with me, with my mother, with my baby siblings. He even built a couple of small businesses from the ground up, with some friends. I didn't realize it then, how much he sacrificed for us. And then, the day came. That changed everything. We found out. He had stage 4 stomach cancer, the kind that doesn't get better, the kind that slowly, silently, steals someone away from you, my mother. And we stayed by his side through every painful day, every sleepless night, every moment when hope felt like it was slipping. The last memory I have of him, he was completely immobile, tubes everywhere, barely able to speak, barely able to move, and yet he smiled at me, just enough to let me know. He remembered me, his son, his child. A few days later, he fell into a coma, and eventually he woke one last time to say goodbye to my mother, who never left his side. And then he was gone. After his death, my mother, inexperienced and grieving, tried to hold things together, and then enter my grandfather, the self-centered, prideful, boomer type who always made everything about himself. He used my father's obituary to boast about grades, achievements, accolades, as if my father was only a trophy to him. We are an Asian family, and in our culture, family respect matters. But this was different. My mother, grieving, struggling, trying to make ends meet, accepted my grandfather's offer to help control my father's businesses. At the time, it seemed like help, but it was far from it. As the years went by, we realized the businesses were barely supporting us, and it was all because my father's guidance was missing. My mother worked multiple jobs, and still, we struggled. When I finally graduated, I got statements signed by the 3 of them, giving me authority, the sole representative of my father's estate. I approached the board of directors without telling my grandfather. He had made himself chairman, a position he didn't deserve. He did no work, only used it to collect money. I told the board that as the representative of my father's estate, I was now the chairman. I didn't intend to keep the position. I wasn't experienced, but it was about power, control, justice. Then, I informed extended family about the unethical practices with the office space. Pressure built, and eventually, my grandfather had to evict the company's main competitor, a move that served them right for conniving with him. The next board meeting, the moment I had been waiting for my entire life, arrived. He walked in to preside as chairman, but his chair faced away from the table. I spun it around like a scene from a movie, a Bond villain reveal. And there I was, sitting at the head of the table. All the company and my family need is no longer you, I said. Slowly, clearly. I will be taking control of my father's estate. He stammered. Do you know that I'm the one who put him and his siblings through school? I looked at him and said calmly, no, Dad did. The look on his face, pure shock, humiliation, defeat. I had never seen him so small, so embarrassed in my entire life. I stepped down from the chairman position, took a modest job in the Treasury Department. I didn't need power. I just needed to ensure the money went where it belonged. One of the first things I did was secure a permanent job for my mother. She deserved it. She had carried the weight of this family for too long. My grandfather, now, is jobless, lonely, prideful, friendless, and miserably aware that his life's arrogance has left him with nothing. Even his wife has had enough. The couple no longer slough. Eeps in the same room. Justice sometimes isn't loud, it isn't chaotic, it is precise, patient, unavoidable. The moral of the story: pause, think. Do not let selfishness and greed dictate your family's future. Stand up for what is right, protect the legacy of those you love, and sometimes the best revenge is quiet, intelligent, and just. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more real tales of justice, revenge, and clever payback, pause and subscribe to our channel, because sometimes justice may be slow, but it is always worth the wait.